Okay, hi, this is the 2010 Darth Vader on the Repro Empire Strikes Back card, and it's the same as the Saga Legends figure. So they say it's got different paint apps. Figure's really good. Removable helmet, helmet's in two pieces as well, and it's got nice silver apps to the chest armor, and it's probably one of the best Darth Vaders, if not the best Darth Vader figure ever. And you've got the Empire Strikes Back card. That image is the classic image. So on YouTube I've just uploaded a Return of the Jedi 1983 carded Darth Vader with the second picture. So this is the original picture. So you get this picture on the Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and some of the Return of the Jedi cards, plus the Power of the Force cards. And there's the figure. Let's see if I can get a better picture of it. There you are. So there. Nice cloth accessories, lightsaber, and so paid £6 for this. Not bad, very good. And there you've got the back of the card. It shows the original 1982-80 version with the original figure, and then the other figures. So this is only the third of these cards I've got. I've got the Sand Trooper plus the droid. What droid is it? It's one of Darth, what's his name? Grievous's guards. Magna Droid, that's it, the Magna Droid. Both of those have got the silver foil. So that's your Darth Vader. Okay, next thing I want to show you is, in this sort of mega haul I guess, because is the IG Lancer Droid. You can see it's really detailed. It's more or less an IG, similar to IG-88, but it's got points on its shoulder, so it looks a bit more broader. Has a darker paint application to its body. Comes with the same weapons as the IG-88 plus the lance as well. You saw this in the Clone Wars, the original Clone Wars, not the current series, but the original cartoon series. And you can see it's really detailed. It's a Builder Droid 2008, I guess, a Legacy Collection, and these are the figures that came in that series. And you've got the droid part there, so it's for the Builder Droid for R4J1, and there you are, the IG Lancer Droid. Let's see if I can get a better look at it. There you are. So there's the Stormtrooper Blaster laser rifle there. We can see it's really bent, and the lance and IG-80 Lancer Droid. Okay, next thing I want to show you is this Nikto Guard. So this is from 1983-84. It's Canadian AFA, and I've been collecting a lot of Canadian vintage of late, so this is a really nice card. The bubble's slightly yellowed. Figure looks pretty cool. Let's see if I can get a better picture. Yep. And it's Return of the Jedi. Has the Emperor offer in the bottom corner. Only 4 figures come on this card, so it's a Nikto, 8D8, and 2 others. If you want to find out more information, go to womprat.com, and that's like really has all the info on Canadian Star Wars vintage cards. They tell you how rare they are and all that sort of stuff. I think this is the level 1, level 2, which means it's pretty comes up pretty often. And you've got the information there. You've got the two languages, English and French there. All the figures, the 65 figures there. So Nikto's not actually shown on the back of this, so that's something unique to this card. You've got the Emperor offer there, and you've got the offer in English at the top and French at the bottom, and you've got the pop there and a white square at the bottom. So really nice card. It's AFA graded, and the grades are 85. Card gets 80, bubble 85, figure 85. Let's see if we can get a better look. There's the figure. There's your Nikto, and very nice on a Kenner Canadian card. So I've got this on a US card as well, and plus on Tri-Logo. So they're on YouTube already, so you can check them out. So that's your Canadian Nikto card. Okay, this is a quick haul, so I'll do better reviews later in the year, because it's the summer holidays now, so people might be going away and stuff like that. So there's your Canadian Nikto, very nice, very nice. Okay, this is the Klaatu. These are a very easy to find figure. This one's slightly unusual that it's a Canadian card, but even in terms of Canadian cards, this is still a very common Canadian card. So it's Klaatu on a Return of the Jedi card, ungraded, and you've got at the top there you've got the languages in English and French. You've got the name Klaatu there. So this figure's just been redone as Woof, and you can get that now. So this is the original Klaatu figure. It's quite a famous figure. The variations are with the limbs. So on this one they look pretty grey, but on some you get a tan limb. So the two arms and the two legs, they can either be grey or tan, and depending on the combination you might have one grey leg and 3 tan limbs, or vice versa. That can really affect the price of that figure. So this is Klaatu. He comes with a sort of skiff guard weapon. 2 versions of Klaatu were released in the vintage line. This is the first version, and they released him in a skiff guard outfit as well. So there's Klaatu, now known as Woof to you younger collectors out there. And this is the back. So this is a 65 back. It's got the pop at the top, which is unusual because on American cards they have the pop at the bottom. So there's the Canadian pop in the top corner there, and then it says Collect All 65 figures, and it says it in French as well. I'm not going to say it in French because my French is so bad. You've got the famous blacking out of the 2 Ewoks, that's Chief, Chirpa and Logray, because George Lucas didn't want to spoil the surprise of the Ewoks being in Return of the Jedi. And then you've got at the bottom the actual offer for Nien Nunb there. So you've got him there, and at the top you've got it in English, and then at the bottom you've got it in French. The expiry date for this offer was the 31st of January 1984, so I'd have still been 13 then, almost 14. So there you are, there's the Canadian Klaatu, or as you youngsters will call him, Woof. Oops, I dropped the bleeding card. So there you are, Woof, Return of the Jedi Klaatu. And very nice item it is. These come up quite often in the UK, so it's not a hard find. I think it's on the oneputwap.com. This is a level 1 figure, so it's easy to find. It bubbles pretty yellowed, but most Klaatu figures these days on the vintage cards do have yellow bubbles, unless you get a Palitoy or a Tri-Logo one. So there you are. That's your Klaatu. Okay, this is Lando Calrissian from the original trilogy collection. So he's a modern figure on a repro style Empire Strikes Back card. Comes in a clamshell. These came out in 2004, I think, and the figure is one of the best Lando Calrissians, probably the best Lando Calrissian. He's in his classic Empire Strikes Back costume with arms with an Imperial Blast on. He comes in a really nice cape as well. And you've got the original card picture from the vintage line, plus the Empire Strikes Back logo, so he was first released on that card. And these were quite expensive, so they usually go for over £10 each. I've got this for less, but still, you know. So, and on the back it's got, these are quite like the new cards now. So this is the original trilogy collection, and then this is the vintage collection. So you can see how similar they are. So that's the Darth Vader figure. Doesn't come in a star case, and that's the original trilogy collection figure. So it says the same thing, celebrate the legendary blah blah blah. And you've got there the original figure, which wasn't a great sculpt, but is a classic figure on his Empire Strikes Back card. There's two major variations with Lando Calrissian, to do with paint apps to the teeth, whether he has white teeth or not. And then you've got the four figures that are originally available. You've got the Darth Vader there on the Empire Strikes Back card. You've got the Lando Calrissian, which is this one, the Yoda, and the C-3PO. So most of these have been redone in the 2010, 2011 lot. And then you've got the Darth Vader here, which is the 2010 version. I've got quite a few of the 2004, 2005 version Darth Vaders, but the Woolworths version, which is the UK version. So there you go. So Lando Calrissian comes in a really nice star case. It's a shame the new figures don't come in this star case. And there you go. Let's see if we can get a better look at Lando Calrissian. He's got Imperial Blaster. Looks pretty well articulated. Looks like he's got slide elbows, which are bugbear for most collectors. Ball jointed shoulders, must have swivel wrist, ball jointed head, knees, upper legs. I don't know about the feet. My feet must be, I'm sure they are. So there you are, Lando Calrissian in his Bespin outfit on a really nice Empire Strikes Back reproduction, and that's your original trilogy collection from 2004. So there you go. Okay, next two are from the original trilogy. Well, the Leia Bespin here is from the original trilogy collection, and then I think these came slightly later. So you've got Sly Moore here. She is in episode 2, 3, I guess, and then you've got and she was like hanged around with the Emperor or Senator Palpatine, and then you've got Leia in her classic Bespin outfit. So you've got these two cards. She's got the Rebel logo in the top corner there. So let's have a quick look at Sly Moore first. So it's quite a nice sort of retro styled card with a background picture behind the figure, and you've got Coruscant Senate there. The figure's really good. It's got a lot of detail to it. Bald headed, holding a pistol that we never saw her hold in the film. Blue dress with a sort of lighter blue, looks like it's rubber. Yeah, it's paint brushed rubber. Outer dress all. And let's see if we can get a good shot of the face without it going out of focus. There you are, Sly Moore. She's got a sort of bluish makeup around the eyes. And there you are. I doubt if this figure has much in the terms of articulation. So there you go. And let's look at the back. Sly Moore. Sly Moore is the Starfade for the Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, is never far from his side. She has a piercing gaze and can only see in the ultraviolet spectrum. Her species, the Umbarans, are rumoured to be able to influence and even control the minds of others. It is believed that she is very close to Palpatine and knows his deepest secrets. And on the back of the card you can actually see the figure there, plus the photograph of her there, and then the other figures that were available at the time, and the ad in the corner to Hasbro.com. It's got 2004 on the back of the card, so it's pretty getting on a bit. Slymore, number 3 in this range. Nice figure. And then we'll look at Leia Bespin, or Princess Leia, they just call it there. In her Bespin gown, a lot more improved over the vintage figure. There's sort of colour applications to the outer dress. She's holding an Imperial blaster. The likeness is really pretty spot on, and it is a nice figure. The background is from the Bespin scene, so it's a good figure. Original Trilogy collection, and there you go, holding a sort of bronze coloured Imperial blaster, and it says includes base, does that say base, and blaster. OTC 18 this is. Okay, on the back you've got a picture of Princess Leia in her Bespin gown, plus the actual figure there, and other figures. I've got those two, I've got Lobot and Cloud Car Pilot. Okay, I think I might have Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay, the Rebel heroes, Princess Leia, Han Solo and Chewbacca, think they are safe in the company of Han's old friend, Lando Calrissian. This guy here, who is now Baron Administrator of Cloud City. They have no reason to expect trouble as they enter the dining room, but they discover that they have been betrayed to the Imperial forces when they come face to face with the evil Darth Vader. So that's Leia in her Bespin gear outfit, and it's quite a good figure. OTC, so you've got her there, and you've got Slymore here, both female characters. And now it's time to say Bond farewell. Bid a Bond farewell. Is it bid? Well, whatever. Anyway, time to say goodbye to these two girls and on to two other. Okay, this is the Darth Vader vintage die-cast TIE Fighter. So came out around 78, 79. So you know, I've posted a few videos on the Imperial TIE Fighter, so I've got 4 versions of that, and recently I acquired a loose TIE Bomber, and I did earlier than this got the Darth Vader's TIE Fighter loose, so there's a video about that as well. Okay, so this is pretty old now. The card's not in the best condition, it's pretty worn around the hang tag. There's a crease there, crease there, crease there, crease there, but it's getting on in its years, so it's over 30 years old, this card. And you can see in the top corner it has the Darth Vader helmet there, which is quite unusual, plus the Luke and Leia holding the lightsaber, and then you've got Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, nice pink background. Everyone knows, well, maybe you youngsters don't know, but the Darth Vader TIE Fighter, there's a variation with a short-winged TIE Fighter, and that's worth a fortune. So if you ever come across one of these with really short wings, that's worth a fortune. And this looks just like the regular version. Obviously they just used the Imperial TIE Fighter body, so it's not like the proper Darth Vader's TIE Fighter there, which would extend around the crescent to a crescent shape there. So there you are, Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. Looks really nice. The bubble's pretty clear, very clear actually. And you've got a scene of Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, an X-Wing, airbrushing there, plus the Death Star. And on the back it's a 21 back card, so you've got all 21 figures, plus the later release die-cast vehicles. You've got the Y-Wing, the Star Destroyer or Imperial Cruiser, and the Millennium Falcon. These are just mock-ups there. And then you've got the 3 4 that were already available: the Landspeeder, the X-Wing, the Darth Vader's TIE, and the TIE Fighter, plus the 2 weapons. You could buy the 3-position laser rifle plus the Han Solo blaster. And then you've got all the figures. You've got, including Boba Fett, so we're seeing 1978 on the back of this card, right at the bottom. This is a US card. You can get this on Canadian card, British card, Palatoy. So, but this is my first Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. So I've been concentrating on the Imperial TIE Fighters, the regular white version, rather than this version. So there you go. Nice, looks nice. There you go, Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. A cool looking ship. Okay, this is excuse me. This is Princess Leia Organa on the 12-back Star Wars Kenner card US. So it's really probably the definitive edition of Princess Leia. I mean, the only versions better would be a Palatoy or a Meccano or a Clipper, but they're even more scarce, or Canadian. So even on a US Kenner card, this is really hard to track down and get at a reasonable price. So it has a white price square at the top, the name of the character, Princess Leia Organa, classic image there, the figure, classic figure now. You can get these in 12-inch format now, or soon. This is a classic figure. I never had this one as a kid. I know my sister did. I think I flushed it down the toilet, so just to spite her, the sort of brother I was. I think I flushed all her Star Wars figures. I knew she had the vinyl cake jar as well, and I know I'd flushed that down the toilet. Anyway, so here you are. These are the Princess Leia on a 12-back card. You've got the classic Leia and Luke holding the lightsaber. Only on these Star Wars cards do you have a few stars in the upper portion as well. Classic image. They didn't change the image on Return of the Jedi cards. They used the same image, and I've got on video on YouTube 2 Return of the Jedi Princess Leia's. For a long time the Return of the Jedi Princess Leia was worth more than the 12-back. It's only past, say, 3, 4, 5 years that this one's become more valuable, just because it's the 12-back version. So this is Princess Leia on a 12-back card. It's been graded, but not by AFA, by the UK graders, and the UK graders say it's the Star Wars Princess Leia 1977 Kenner 12-back. It gives it a rarity factor of 2 stars and gives the card 80, bubble 85, and the figure 85, and overall the piece gets 85. Doesn't tell you exactly what type of 12-back it is, like whether it's a 12-back A, 12-back B, 12-back C. I've got the John Kellerman book. I could look it up, and when I've got more time I will. And you can see on the back it's got the list of 12 figures, the classic image of the 12 figures, paintings of the TIE Fighter, the X-Wing, and the Landspeeder, telling you how to pull out the telescoping lightsabers, which were quickly replaced with just the pull-down lightsabers. There's an offer at the bottom there for a display stand, or a collector's action stand, and that expired May the 1st, 1979. There's the pop there, and you have to send in proof of purchases. So these little things here you have to send in. Everyone knows in England we have to send in the name tags of the characters. So there you go. This is your 12-back, and it says, let's see what it says about Princess Leia. It says, Princess Leia Organa, 3.5 inches, has a removable cape and laser pistol. The laser pistol has come loose and is at the bottom. The figure looks pretty good. Bubbles very clear, which is nice. Little tinge of pink to the arms and legs compared to the body, but that happens over time. Still classic image, Princess Leia. And there you are. Let's continue on with our massive Star Wars haul before the holiday. Okay, this is Luke X-Wing. This is pretty rare. This is on a Canadian card. It's an Empire Strikes Back card which has had a Return of the Jedi logo there, sticker, sorry, stuck over it. Still got the price sticker, original vintage price sticker, and they've added another sticker there which is for Return of the Jedi figure offer. And there's the Luke in his X-Wing gear. So this is a Canadian 41 back B card with the added Canadian transition stickers. So these in Canada are known as transition cards, and you have the Canada decided not to, because Return of the Jedi was about to come, so they decided to just take all the current Empire Strikes Back cards and just put stickers over them, all the surplus they had, and sell them so that they could trademark or advertise the new Return of the Jedi film. And there's the offer for Admiral Akbar there, and it's got the offer in English and in French, and this time I'm going to read it. Special offer: get an Admiral Akbar figure from the new Star Wars movie Return of the Jedi with 6 proofs for purchase. Just purchase 6 Star Wars action figures, send in the 6 proof of purchases seals with your name and address to the address below. Return of the Jedi offer, PO Box 335, Station C, Toronto, Ontario, M6J3N1. Offer expires August the 1st, 1983. Allow 10 days, 10 to 12 weeks for processing. Okay, and there's the seal, which is part of the sticker overlay. And as you can see, this upper part of the card is your bog standard Canadian Empire Strikes Back 41 back card, and it says there at the top in French, Empire Strikes Back. I did say I wasn't going to read French today. And then it says in French at the top, then in English, Star Wars action figures, collect all 41. And there you can see Luke X-Wing there. So this is a really kind of rare item, really nice, very expensive. And I had to pay import duty on this, and that was exorbitant as well. Her Majesty's Customs it's outrageous that they charge so much money. This is not available in the UK, and yet Her Majesty's Customs, the scum, think they can rip us off. But you have to pay. Well, from now on, try not to buy from the States anymore, because this country is such a rip-off. That's the UK. They just tax us to death, you know. This country's just... A lot of you viewers are American, but this country, we need the X-Wings to come and blow up the Houses of Parliament. Anyway, so just because of the customs charges, it's ridiculous. Huge amount I had to pay on this just to import it into this country. But the item's really nice. The dealer who sold this to me said that he'd had offers that if I backed out, he'd had offers for paying twice as much. Whether that's true or not, who knows. So anyway, and we won't. So it's a really rare item. So you got, and according to him, the guy who sold this to me, he says there's only, according to AFA, Action Figure Archive Authority, sorry, this is the only known example. So that shows you how rare this is. So I'm sure in Canada someone else has one of these, or within the States. They just need to send it to get graded. These transition cards, all of them are pretty rare. The most common is C-3PO. But you know, that's why I'm a bit low on money at the moment. It's because of this. It costs so much. But it's, I guess it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to grab this. I was talking to someone yesterday. He's a big Star Wars dealer, a UK dealer, and he was saying that at the moment on eBay lots of really good stuff's coming up. So, you know, like stuff he's never seen before. There's even a couple of amazing prototypes at the moment on eBay. They're really expensive. They're like, it's a Rebel Commando prototype figure on a Landau Calrissian Empire Strikes Back card. That is I remember seeing that in a magazine, Lee's Action Figure News, years ago, and that's now actually available to buy if you've got mega bucks. So this is not as rare as that, but still mega rare. And if you are into Canadian stuff, then you know, this really nice item. I haven't even taken it out of its AFA bag yet. I will one day, but not yet. And you know, nice, just look at that. As soon as I got it last Monday, finally, it took about a month to come from the States to here. I mean, it's held up in customs for a really long time, you know, until I had enough money to pay the bleeding custom charge. This country's a disgrace. This government's a disgrace. We should overthrow it. We should be like this Luke X-Wing. We should be rebels, overthrowing the government, changing this society for the better, you know. We'll just end up being anarchy, you know. Anyway, that's my rant. It's just, you know, but this is a really nice item. It looks amazing. Bubble looks pretty clear. They say it's yellow. I mean, look at the grades. It says 1980 Canada Star Wars Empire Strikes Back 41 Batch B Luke X-Wing pilot Return of the Jedi transition sticker. And it says card is 80, bubble 85, figure is 80, yellow, near mint, and it's an archival case. That's because this thing is mega rare. So there you are. So let's see, Return of the Jedi figure offer, Luke Skywalker X-Wing pilot. Anyway, time to move on. I'll do a better video of this when after the summer holidays. Alright, cheers. Okay, more Canadian. I already put a video up about this. This is the Emperor's Royal Guard on Canadian 77 back. Okay, bubble's pretty yellow, but the card's really nice. Typical Canadian Return of the Jedi. About the same price as a Kenner card, US card, or Palatine might be even more expensive. 85 grade. So the card, the whole thing's 85. Everything's 85. Card, bubble, and figure are 85. Yellow near mint. Return of the Jedi, Emperor's Royal Guard. Excellent figure. 1983. This was a class figure. I actually got the one I had when I went to see Return of the Jedi in the UK on its first day of release. So actually was selling them in the cinema. So there you are. That's the Emperor's Royal Guard. Looks really good figure. Nice cloth cape. Comes with a staff. You can just make it out there. And it's a great likeness. Far better than the Power of the Force version, Power of the Force 2 version that came out in the 90s. Okay, so typical Canadian back, 77 back. No offer on this card. It's just the 77 back with the languages in English and French, and then what's available, the Max Rebo set and all that sort of stuff, plus the pops in the lower corner. So there you are. Another nice Canadian card. So you've seen on this review 4 or whatever update, haul update, whatever. You've got 4 Canadian cards. You've got this, which is fairly rare. If you go to ronpratt.com, you'll see how rare it is. Level 2, I think. The Luke on the X-Wing transition card, which is mega rare. The Nikto, which is I think level 2, level 1, which is on a 65 back. Yeah, that's a 65 back card with the Emperor offer, and the Klaatu, which is on a more with a what offer raffle was the Klaatu one. Well, you saw that one as well anyhow. So you've seen 4 Canadian vintage cards. 5 years ago I had no Canadian cards, so you know they're only starting to crop up in the UK now and again. So, and I think it's a nice area to focus on, a bit more unique than the US versions, and just as good as the Palitoy versions. So there you are, the Emperor's Royal Guard on Canadian card. Unpunched 85 all round, yellow near mint with a 77 back, and there's already a video about this on YouTube by me. So there you go, nice card. Okay, so this is the Vader I was telling you about. This is the Return of the Jedi 65 back B Darth Vader, 1983. It's got the second picture on it, which this picture looks amazing. So it's got pinkish purplish tint to it, looks really good though. And there's the figure, Darth Vader on a Return of the Jedi 1983 card. So what Kenner did back in the day was to some of the older figures that have been around since the Star Wars time, they decided to update the pictures. So they did that for the Vader, the Han Solo, the Luke Skywalker. They didn't do it for Princess Leia, they did it also for Chewbacca. And who else? Let me think. I should know these. I've talked about it anyhow on one of my Han Solo reviews, because I've got the Han Solo with the updated picture as well. So they just did it to refresh the line, and this picture looks amazing. It's the same figure though. And on the back you've got a 65 back US Kenner card with the pop at the bottom. And what's interesting about this is, I don't know if you can just about focus on that. Let me see. It says made in Mexico. I don't know if it was carded in Mexico. The card doesn't look like stock, might be the Mexican type. It might have been carded in America or Mexico, who knows. The figure was definitely made in Mexico. And if you go on sites about, just Google Lily Ledy Darth Vader, and this will tell you how to recognize the Darth Vader figure, the Mexican version, from the more common Hong Kong version. So with this version, you've got, if you notice the stomach panel there, the chest panel, the paint works a lot less than on the regular version. The buttons are slightly smaller, so that's one way of telling that's a Mexican Ledy figure. The other thing is the helmet. In side profile it's more pronounced, and that's another way of recognizing the Mexican Darth Vader. And the final way of telling is, if you look at the lightsaber, it's really thick and bright. So the Mexican Lily Ledy figures have a thick blade. So those are the 3 things you've got to look for. You've got to look for the chest plate, the sculpt on the head, the actual mask, the lower part of the jaw almost sticks out, it's more pronounced, and the thickness of the lightsaber. And then of course the manufacturing on the leg, that's another giveaway. So if you just go on Google and just say Ledy Darth Vader, and you'll find out how to, there's sites that are devoted. Rebel Scum, they have a good thing about it as well. So if you go on Rebel Scum, they can tell you about the Darth Vader. So this is the second picture, and there's the back again. Okay, so now you've got the old and the new. You've got the original 1983 Darth Vader second picture on a Return of the Jedi card, made in Mexico. And now you've got here, and I've already talked about this one, this is the vintage collection Empire Strikes Back reproduction card with the modern Darth Vader on it. So the figures are really incomparable, because there's so many, there's 30 years between these two, so you know, more than 30 years. So it just shows this is the history of figure Star Wars figures in a nutshell. You've got the 1978 version of Darth Vader. Obviously that one was made a bit later, but it's still essentially the same figure. And then you've got the 2010 version of Darth Vader, and you can see that the detailing is just, the two figures are incomparable. But then you've got to think the cards are comparable. That the cards are, that this card is a reproduction of that card, or very similar to that card, and it just goes to show you that people love the old cards. And people my generation love these old figures. I'd rather have this figure, even though it can't do anything compared to this figure. I'd rather have that one than this one any day. But still, you know, I love the old cards, and this is an old card reproduction. It looks wicked, and you've got the new figure on it. So this caters for everyone. That's why these things are selling out so much. Especially look at the Gamorrean guards. Who can get that? That's probably more expensive than the vintage one these days. So here you are, the old and the new. Darth Vader and Darth Vader. Both picture variations. So this picture, as I said before, you got on the Empire Strikes Back some of the Return of the Jedi and Tri-Logo, plus the Power of the Force, and of course the original Star Wars cards. What Kenner or Hasbro should do now is put Vader's on picture cards like that, because this picture looks pretty awesome. So there you are. There you go. Anyway, time to go. I need to eat. Okay, this is the Power of the Force 2, 1996, I guess. Carded Imperial Gunner, but this is the Italian one. So this only Italian cards have the their own nationality. Plus the US cards, I guess, and the Canadians were for Canada and South America. These are the only nation-specific Power of the Force 2 cards, so they're far lot more scarce than any other of the Power of the Force 2 cards. So this is the Kenner logo with the GG, which is the Italian distributor, and then it says Gare Stelliari Star Wars, and then it's got the name of the Imperial Gunner, Morta Nera. Morta must mean death in Italian, and then it says it's got, you know, the weapons, assault rifle and all that sort of stuff. There's the figure. The figure's really good. One of the better early figures, not too overly muscled. Comes with this massive assault rifle plus the Imperial blaster, but it's a really good likeness and not a bad figure. So head with swivel, arms swivel at the shoulder, swivel at the waist, swivel at the upper legs, and then in the back of the card it says Gare Stelliari again. It has the name of the figure in Italian and all the information: height 1.83 meters, and all the other figures that are available in the range. I've already shown you this one and that one on Italian cards. That's the Emperor and the Walrus Man, or Ponda Baba as he got later called. And here's the back of the Italian card. So it's a lot less writing than on the US or Canadian card or a European UK card. And then you've got the GG, so 2 points there, or 1 point up there, and then has the Kenner GG logo, and 1997, so this one was from 97, so quite a few years ago. So this is what I really like to collect, because I mean most of the Power of the Force 2 stuff is pretty worthless these days, but the Italian stuff I just think looks really cool, and the vintage Italian stuff is so expensive these days, so this is the next best thing, is collecting Power of the Force 2 Italian Gare Stelliari figures. So, and this one's quite hard to track down, so you know, and it looks really good, especially the name. Whoever can speak Italian, Article delle Mortanera. So that just sounds so cool. So there you are, your Italian Kenner GG Powder Force 2 Imperial Guard. Okay, this is the George Lucas in Stormtrooper disguise. It's been around for quite a while, but it's still available in England. What you've got to do is go to HMV and order the remote controlled R2-D2 and you get this George Lucas. I got this about 2-3 weeks ago, and the remote controlled R2-D2 costs £20, and if you order that you get this for free. So George Lucas in Stormtrooper disguise on the sort of Star Wars vintage looking card, and I'll open it up now. Okay, this is the George Lucas in Stormtrooper. You got him looking rather young, about 33 there when he made Star Wars, and he's wearing a Stormtrooper costume, and it's on a reproduction 12 back or 20 back Stormtrooper card, and it says there George Lucas in Stormtrooper disguise, and it comes in a plastic star case type packaging, and it's from the Saga collection, and it's from the year 2006, but it's still available in England 4 years later, so it's around July now. I must have got this at the end of June 2010, and it looks amazing. I love these vintage cards, reproductions, and this is the guy that made it all happen. This is the second George Lucas. There's also the blue carded George Sukal X-Wing pilot, which I don't have, but of the two I prefer this one because of its vintage retro look. Two Stormtroopers there, the Saga collection there, and there's the helmet, looks amazing. George Lucas before he put on weight and went fairly grey. Still got a good head of hair though. It says George Lucas in Stormtrooper disguise, and it's got a picture of George Lucas directing the Stormtrooper in Tunisia back in 1970. It would have been earlier than 77, it would have been around 75, 76. And it says, celebrate the legendary Star Wars saga that changed the universe forever with this Saga collection. The collection brings to life the incredible story of good versus evil that captures our imagination and transports us to a galaxy far, far away. To commemorate this landmark film, we are honouring their creator George Lucas. We pay homage to both his remarkable accomplishments in film as well as the legions of Star Wars fans that he inspired by presenting a likeness of the director himself, clad in one of the saga's most iconic designs, the distinctive armour of an Imperial Stormtrooper. May the Force be with you. And at the bottom it shows 6 figures that were available at the time. That's the Luke in X-Wing, the Greedo, which I have, and the Sand Person, which I have, Biker Scout, and Han Solo in the trench coat. And then there's a bit of information there, Hasbro logo. So overall it's a really nice card, and it comes in this really nice protective case. And let's have another look at George Lucas there. The likeness of Lucas is quite good. The costume's amazing. Comes with a Stormtrooper blaster rifle, and I just love the vintage reproduction of this card. It has at the top an Imperial logo and a Rebel logo. So if you still want to get one of these in England, you can get the remote controlled R2-D2 and you'll get this free with it. But I don't know how many they've got of these, so 20 quid's not bad to pay. You get two things. You get the remote controlled R2-D2 and this as well. And these on eBay go for about 20-30 quid, so you can't complain. Remote control R2-D2 you've got to order if you want to get the George Lucas and Stormtrooper, and you get it off at hmv.com in the UK, and it's quite a substantial sized figure, and it comes with that remote control there. Detailing's reasonable. It's the R2 unit for its size. It's quite plain. It's got some animated Clone Wars characters pictured at the back, and you can just see Anakin Skywalker on this side there, and there's the Clone Wars remote controlled R2-D2. Maybe it's done in that animated styling, that's why it looks more in a simplistic style. It comes with that remote control, which looks like something that Luke used in episode 1, I mean episode 4. And there's the back of the box. It says the remote controlled R2-D2 is ready for adventure. Send your plucky astromech droid on exciting missions to save the galaxy. It has a swiveling head. Press switch for forward movement. Press switch to change direction. And then it goes on to the actual controls. Press button for R2-D2 sounds and lights. Optimal range for best performance is approximately 3 feet. Recommended for indoor use only. And it's done in this sort of Clone Wars packaging with the red packaging. And this costs £20 from hmv.com in England. And if you order it now, you'll get the free George Lucas Stormtrooper. Okay, let's have another look at the actual remote controlled R2-D2. I don't think it comes with batteries, so the batteries you have to get separately. And it's a pretty big figure. Well, it's not even a figure, it's a remote control toy. And there's the remote control clicker. So not a bad Star Wars toy. You'll make a good present for someone. So if you want to get a George Lucas Stormtrooper, you have to order this and you'll get the George Lucas Stormtrooper for free. Or you could think it like you're getting both for £10 each, or it's up to you really. But the George Lucas Stormtroopers are the reason I got this anyhow. So okay, time to say goodbye. Cheers. Okay, this is the Return of the Jedi 1983. It's the Power Droid. So this is a re-release figure. This figure first came out in 1979 on a Star Wars 20 and then 21 back card. I've shown you the 21 back card, but this one's different. This is a graded version, so it's not graded by AFA. In this country we have our own grading service as well. It's called UK Graders, and this is how they grade the stuff in over here. So we got what it is. So it's pretty similar to AFA. It says Star Wars Return of the Jedi Power Droid Kenner 77 back. So the 77 back Return of the Jedi cards are probably the most common vintage cards that are available these days. Those 2 stars there, it says rarity, just shows you how rare the item is. So 1 star would be pretty common, 2 stars moderately, and then 3 to 4 stars would be pretty rare. The card gets 80%, the bubble gets 85%, and the figure gets 80%. And overall it gets a grade, UK grade of 80%. So pretty similar to the AFA system, but this is the British system. And here we have the figure, very nice. I've got a loose one to show you. The loose one is actually from when I was a kid, so it's really old, but it's still in good nick. So I'll show you that in a while. And nice card, nice, excellent picture there from the original 1977 A New Hope film. And then you've got the Return of the Jedi logo. This is an American card, but pretty common, easy find. Bubbles slightly tinged yellow, but not too bad. That's it really, not much to say. This is droid's also known as, quite famously, as the Gonk droid because of the noise it makes. And it has been re-released in modern since '95 as well. Okay, this is the back of the 77 back Paradroid US card. So you've got the 77 figures there, and I've shown you this back so many times. It's, you know, just to go shows you how common it is. Even in the over here, this is probably the most common card you can find. And it tells you the 4 items you could get, 4 toys, and then this one was made in Hong Kong. There's the pop, still intact, and that's about. Okay, this is from my childhood. This is my Paradroid. So the feet make a clicking noise when you move it forward, and it still works. It's pretty cool. That's about all it does. Essentially it's a box with legs. So decorations consist of a sticker there, a stick around the side, a bit of orange paint there, and this rubber hose thing at the top, and then the legs with the quite broad feet and the clicking feature. You can just see the piece of plastic there that clicks when the legs move forward. So for something that I've had since 1980, 81, I don't know when I got this one. It still works, it's still in good nick, and I played with it a lot back when I was a kid, so he's done really well, this little droid. So that's the loose Paradroid, and behind it is the carded 77 back US Kenner card, easy find. If you want to get this on a 21 back or 20 back, you're going to pay about 4 times as much, 5 times maybe. So it's up to you whether you're going to get that. So that's the Paradroid. Cheers. Okay, this is the Beru Organa figure, wife of Bail Organa, and this came on a white legacy card, Stormtrooper picture, and figures not bad. It has swivel ball jointed elbows and shoulders, swivel head, waist, swivel hands, and the legs are well, because of the dress, which is quite rigid, they don't really move at all, so the legs are pretty fixed. So this is more of a displaying figure. I mean, there are lots of these at the store. I mean, I picked these up for really cheap, and it's 2 years later than when these came out, so these are just figures that have sat around for a long time and haven't really sold at all in England, London. And there's a nice cloth shawl at the back, or whatever, head thing, and the dress has a nice sort of bronze effect on the blue, metallic bronze. And the head sculpt's not bad. And there's not really much to say about this figure. I've seen a lot of reviews, or a couple of reviews of this figure, and most people would just say, I mean, she's It's one of the kind of obscure figures, really. It's not an alien, it's not really a sort of combat figure, it's just a sort of figure that's going to appeal more to girls, really, than adults. Well, maybe, who knows. I'm just babbling now. I've run out of things to say. So it's time to say goodbye. Until next time. Cheers. Okay, this is the Marvel US Star Wars comic range. So this is just Marvel Age number 10. This is a complimentary Star Wars. I think this is the whole 6 episodes in one. And this is from the BBC. This is a reprint of number 1. This is number 1. Even back then, about 94, 93, it was quite expensive, £10 in those days. Number 2, US. Number 2, reprint. Number 2, British. Number 3, US. Number 3, US. Number 3, British. Number 3, British. 12p. Nice cover there. Number 4, British. Number 4, US. Number 5, British. Number 5, US. Back in, say, about 94, 95, it was £2 for that. £1 sterling. Number 5, British. Number 6, US. Number 6, US again. Number 6, US again. Number 7. So that's all of the original A New Hope, 6 issues there. Number 7 was the first of a new lot of stories. Marvel. Number 8. 8 Against the World. Love that rabbit. Number 9. Number 10. Blah blah blah. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. That's quite a good story, that one. 17. Nice artwork. I've got a Dutch one of these now, it's quite nice. 18. I've got 18 there. Okay, let's switch that off. Okay, here you've got number... what number is that one? 19. 20. 21. This one's signed by Dave Prowse. Because that's signed, I've got another copy here. Just because not necessarily having something signed makes it more valuable. But this is the reason why this issue is signed is because it's the first appearance of Darth Vader. So I'm not going to show you the whole load because it will just take forever, and I know that other people on YouTube have more or less shown the complete set of Marvel comics, but you can see they're a really nice set. It took me about 10 years to assemble this whole lot. And you can guess what the hardest episode was to find. 107, that was the one that was really tricky. Okay, we're getting on to the Empire Strikes Back now. Some good covers here. Cool, they've stuck together. Battle on Bespin, Pariah, Seraphim Eyes. This is quite a nice cover there. No, I've got quite a lot of duplicates. But say 15, 16, 17 years ago they were quite cheap, these comics, so I just picked as many as I could. The later issues are probably the harder ones to find. Some covers are painted, they look really nice. I mean, I collected Dark Horse for quite a long time as well, but it just got ridiculous, it just got too much. Whereas collecting the Marvels was something you could actually achieve. There's the original comic. This figure, there've been action figures made of this cover. Another one there. Painted cover there. Another one there. This must be the 100th issue, sorry. The 100th issue of Star Wars Marvel Comics. And 101, 101, 102, and then this was the hardest one to find, 107. This was the last issue I needed to complete the set, and this issue's kind of scarce, so that's the pretty hard comic to find, 107. Oh. And there's just more duplicates. There's a 106 there, a 104, a 105, a 106, which is for £5, described as very scarce, a 103, another 103, a 104, 105, some of the annuals. These are quite easy to find, still pretty cheap. Another annual there. A third annual there. Droids comics, these are pretty scarce. That's number 3, number 6. I got these in the Record and Tape Exchange in Notting Hill Gate, as far as I can remember. That's number 7. Number 8, number 5, number 1, another number 1, number 2, and that's that. So these are all my US Marvel comics. I've got an Ewoks comic somewhere as well, at least number 1 of the Ewoks series. So these are the Empire Strikes Back. Okay, because it's the 30th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, when you look at the Empire Strikes Back ones as well. There, Empire Strikes Back. What else? So Empire Strikes Back begins with 39, 40, same age as me. 41 through the asteroid field. Okay, here we've got 2 vintage card backs. They're from the 70s and 80s. You've got a Canadian Sam Person 12-back card back and a German TIE Fighter card back from about 1982. So we'll start with the Sand Person. So, oops, you've got the Sand Person here, and it's on a Canadian card. You can tell because it's got the 2 languages there, English and French, and then it's the bog standard picture of the Sand Person or Tusken Raider, and this is from, you can see it's had the proof of purchase cut out on the back, and if we look at the back we can see that it's very similar to a US card. So it's got the description of the figures at the top in English, and then here it's got it in French. So you've got the two languages, which was what was law in France, in Canada, sorry, that you had to have all products labelled in English and French. And so if this had the figure on it, it'd be really rare, and it still is rare to get a Canadian 12-back card, excepting that it's got no proof of purchase there, it's been cut out. And as you can see, it's got the classic image of the 12 figures there, the first 12, hence the name 12-back, and then the Land Speeder, the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter. These are just drawings, and then a description of pulling out the telescoping lightsaber, which was quickly replaced with the pull down version. And you've got the descriptions in English and French. The French ones, they both do, they both give the height of the figures in centimetres and inches. So that's your French 12-back Canadian card. So this is a sort of cheaper way of collecting vintage Star Wars stuff, by just grabbing the card backs without the figures on them. Okay, this is a German TIE Fighter card, 45 back, Empire Strikes Back. Looks exactly like a Palitoy card on the front, and it even has the age instructions in English. So this is a German card, Imperial TIE Fighter pilot, and on the back it has 45 figures pictured, plus at the bottom, this is what makes it particularly nice, is what it says there. So it's got some German words, and then at the bottom the address, General Mills in Germany, and then 1982 Lucasfilm Limited. So I reckon these, as far as I know, these were carded in the UK and sent to Germany. That's why most carded, if you wanted to buy some German figures now, they're most likely to come from England. So that's your German card and Canadian card. So these two vintage foreign cards. So I've got some carded German figures. I've got a few on this card, not the TIE Fighters. I've got the Han Solo, the Bossk, a Rebel Soldier and Rebel Commander. Hopefully some more soon. And then the Canadian Sand Person. I've got a few Canadian items. I've been collecting a lot of Canadian stuff of late. So this is a Canadian card, very nice. With unfortunately the pulp's been removed, so that's the only drawback. But this is a rare thing. To see this carded would be, I mean, to see it with a figure on the card would be mega rare, and it would cost a lot of money. So there you are. That's two vintage foreign cards. So there you are. You've got the Empire Strikes Back TIE Fighter pilot and the Canadian Sand Person. I love that picture though, it's classic. So there you are. Okay, here we've got two of the 2010 vintage collection Wave 1 figures, and I've been really bad at collecting these. I've only just got these now. So we've got the Cloud Car pilot on the Empire Strikes Back card, and Forlon also on this Empire Strikes Back card. These both have the classic image from the 1980s, so the same picture as what they had back in the day, and you can see that the Cloud Car pilot's been totally revamped and modernized, as has Forlon. Obviously I'm a vintage collector, so I remember them in their old names. So there you are, two of the vintage collection figures. So now this means I've got these two plus Darth Vader, and have I got any more? Well, I've definitely got the Darth Vader, I've shown that, and oh yeah, the Magna Guard and the Sand Trooper, I've got those. So this is not, and if you look at the back of the Forlon, it shows you the original card with the figure. I've got one on the Jedi card, and then you've got the rest in the range. You've got the Vader, you've got the Han Solo, which I've also got, I'll show you that next, plus the Luke in Bespin, which I wanted to get but I didn't get, plus Leia and the C-3PO. So I've got all of these, well, apart from the Han, on vintage cards, I mean from the 1980s, so you know, I've got that Luke Bespin on a Canadian card. That's quite a rare card. The Leia Hoth I've got on a Return of the Jedi card, and on a Tri-Logo card, and the C-3PO I've got on a couple of 12 backs. Not in the best condition, but you know. Okay, so these are the vintage figures, and that's 4-LOM, excellent figure, well articulated and nicely detailed. It really looks like the image there in the photograph, and he comes armed with this really long rifle or machine gun. Well, it's based on the German World War II machine gun. So there's 4-LOM, and it's on a replica Empire Strikes Back card. And then we've got the Cloud Car Pilot, and he's on an Empire Strikes Back card, and he's grown a moustache. Looks pretty similar to the vintage figure, a bit more articulated, and the helmet looks removable. Comes with a small pistol, and well, the vintage figure came with a pistol plus a little communicator device, which is easily lost. So there you are, Cloud Car Pilot, and he's inside his car in the picture. And there's the back. I've got this on the Empire Strikes Back Kenner card with the Revenge offer on the back, plus I've got on a Jedi card. That's the Jedi card one's on YouTube, an early video I did, so yeah, if you blink you'll miss it. So there's Cloud Car Pilot. Okay, so I'll put those back. You've got Cloud Car and 4-LOM. Have a closer look at them. You've got 4-LOM and twin-powered Cloud Car Pilot, both with the Kenner logos at the bottom, just like they had in the back in the day for the US cards and Canadian cards. So there you Okay, here we've got the Han Solo. So this is from the 2010 collection. This is the first wave. It's Han Solo in his Echo Base outfit, and this is the first time this figure's been released. So it's on a vintage style card with the silver foil, and it comes with a welding tool and a welding mask, and it's quite a nice figure. I've seen a lot of reviews of this figure, and most complaints seem to stem around the jacket, that it's not removable. So that seems to be people's biggest gripe with this figure. But Hasbro or Kenner are trying to do something different, so, and we've never had this release. Now, I know now that you can get the Han on Bespin on a retro type card as well. So this is the first time it's been on this card, and it's got a nice picture of Harrison Ford there in Hoth, on Hoth, and you've got the picture on the back. So it says first issue vintage Han Solo card 2010, and then you've got at the bottom all the other figures in the rave. And as I just said earlier, when I was looking at the Cloud Car Pilot, I've got the Dengar coming as well. I don't know what's happened to that. That should have come with these 4 figures. You've got Luke in Bespin, Leia Hoth, and C-3PO. So this is a Wave 1 figure. The Wave 1 ones, most of them came with this foil effect stripe around the card, and it just makes him look so much better. So that's your Han Solo in Hoth Echo Base outfit. Nice card. Sorry about the lighting, the weather's really bad. It was sunny this morning and now it's gotten all dark and grey, but I want to get all this stuff reviewed. Okay, here we've got the Rebel Commando. Okay, so my camera just played up just now, so back to the Rebel Commando, and it's on the Return of the Jedi retro card, and it's exactly the same card, or very similar to the original card. And there's the figure, and this figure is leaps and bounds ahead of the original figure. So he comes with a removable hat with a bald head, beard, goatee beard, which isn't what that guy has in the picture. He has a camouflage jacket very similar to the Han trench coat from 2007 or 2006. It comes with a rifle very similar to the one that came with the original vintage figure, and a pistol and a little backpack which is packed underneath the boots. And the figure's nicely weathered, it looks really nicely detailed. So, and the card just looks pretty nice, glossy. So it's a Wave 3 figure, so there's the original on the back of the Return of the Jedi card. I've got one of those. I'd like to get one on Tri-Logo. And then you've got the other figures in that wave. You've got the Wicket, Yoda, Luke, Capture, Roof or Katu, and R2-D2 serving drinks. So these are the two figures, the Han and the Rebel Commando. I think I need to put the light on, it's gotten a bit dark. Okay, so we looked at some 2010 figures, and we've looked at some a couple of vintage cards without the figures, and now we're going to look at a couple of a Saga Legends and a Clone Wars 2-pack. So the Saga Legends figure is the Space Trooper, and this is a re-release. It's got a nice illustration there of the Space Trooper. This is the second version of the Space Trooper. There was one back in the expanded universe on Powder Force, which I still haven't got that one. Once I've got that one, I've got all the expanded universe Powder Force figures. As you can see, it's a really good figure. It's really bulked up, muscular. Well, not muscular, but looks very kind of robotic, and it's got sort of flaps for flying with in space and a jetpack. And he comes with a kind of, the pistol looks rather small in his hands. And he's got sort of robotic looking legs. So that's the Space Trooper, excellent figure, Saga Legends. And there's a close-up of the actual what do you call these, Galactic Battle game card. And on the back it has a picture of the figure and a sort of comic book illustration of the Space Trooper. So that's from like the old Dark Empire series. And then you've got Saga Legends, other figures in the range, Stormtrooper, Battle Droid, Mace and Obi-Wan. And I see at the bottom those warnings, that's a new feature there. Before it had tons of tiny little print. So that's your Space Trooper. Let's put that back. And next one we're going to look at is the 2-pack, which I got from Sainsbury's in the UK. It's ARF Trooper Raxa and the Battle Droid. And it's exclusive to Sainsbury's in the UK, so I'm sure you can get this in America, but if you want to get that in England, you can get this 2-pack. It's on sale at the moment for £10. The figures, the Saga Legends figures, are on sale for about £5.30. So there you are. And it comes, I got it mainly for this one because he looks wicked, sort of camouflaged ARF Trooper in the sort of brownish tan camouflage with the helmet, looking a bit like a sort of prototype biker scout. Looks pretty cool. It comes with this massive Gatling gun and a pistol, and the Battle Droid is in red with yellow highlights and comes with a Battle Droid blaster. Great artwork on the card. So you've got the Battle Droid and ARF Trooper Raxa, and then on the back, let's see what it says in the back. You've got the two characters, same picture, and the other two you can get. You can get a Special Ops Clone Trooper and Geonosian Drone. So hopefully they'll get even more reduced, and I'll pick those two up as well. So there you are, the two figures I picked up yesterday. Okay, here we've got in 1985 or 84, I think it's 85, Ewok on a Canadian card. It's not an Ewok, it's actually a Duloc Scout, but it doesn't say the name of the character on the card at all. It's a French and English Canadian card, so it's got the language in French, so from the TV series, and it's the same thing in French at the bottom, and then it's got Star Wars and La Guerre des Étoiles and the ages in French. And there's the Duloc Scout. So he comes with a sort of club, and he's got quite a large head, red eyes. So the only Duloc I don't have now is the King Gornish. The rest I've got, and I've got the 2 Ewoks as well. There weren't many figures in this range. This one's kind of nice because it's got the wrong coin with it. It's got the Lady Urga, or whatever her name is, coin. So that makes it a bit nicer. And all the Canadian cards didn't have pictures of the character on them. They just had the same generic cards. So here you've got a picture of Wicket and Nisa. Sad that I know the characters' names, but you know. So, and there's little Wicket as well up there as well. And the back of the card is the 6 figures that were available in the range. You've got Wicket, I've got that one, I've graded, I've got that one, which I've done a recent review of. That's the one I haven't got, the King. Then there's the Lady Agra, then there's the Scout, and the Shaman, Duloc Shaman. So if you've ever seen the Ewoks cartoons, then you know what I'm talking about. And then there's all the stuff that you could get with them. The Ewok Battle Wagon, the Ewok Village or Treetop House, and then 2 accessories, the glider and the catapult. And so this is your Canadian carded Ewok figure. So I think all the other ones I've got are on US cards. So this is my first Canadian Ewok figure. And they're just as common as US cards. Should be no price difference between the two. So there you are. Okay, here we've got a Droids Kia Mole character on a Canadian card. So this is my first vintage Droids card on a Canadian card figure. I've got 2 others. I've got on the back it tells you I've got Jord Dusat and Jan Tosh, and I did a review of them a while back. So if you just want to see them. Well, I didn't really do a review of them. I just took loads of pictures of them and stuck it to music. So here, this is a Kia Mole. She's slightly rarer than those 2 characters, and it says on her coin that she's a freedom fighter, and it's on a Canadian card. So you've got Vlix in the background. He's like probably one of the most valuable Star Wars figures going, and he was only released in Brazil. So there you go. It's just like the Ewok figure I just showed you there. It's got the French and English languages, and then you've got the figure there, which is she looks quite chubby in this sculpt. Her neck looks quite flabby, as do her arms, and she comes armed with a Bespin blaster in grey, so that's this like squid head gun. So there you are. Bubbles on these cards tend to yellow. And then let's have a quick look at the back. So you've got in this series you could get 12 figures, including Boba Fett, which cost a fortune, and the A-Wing pilot. And some of these figures are quite tricky to track down. And then you've got in English and in French there. Okay, and the year at the bottom, it says 1985. So that's your Droids figure. Okay, one more look at the Canadian Droids and Ewok figure, Kia Mole and the Duloc Scout. These figures didn't really sell very well, so after the Return of the Jedi line and the Power of the Force line, Kenner tried to keep Star Wars going, but by 1985 everyone was getting into computer games, and well, I certainly did, and so I lost interest. So these are the the dying embers of the sort of vintage Star Wars line. Not everyone collects these. Some people don't consider these worth collecting. I've only recently started collecting these ones, so you know, and it's still not too expensive. Some are, I mean, like Vlix's cost a fortune, but some of these ones aren't too. They're not going to break the bank, as they say. So and they're both Canadian. So these are both my first Canadian Droids and my first Canadian Ewok. So there you are. Time to say. Okay, here we've got a couple of those proof cards or sample cards from the SDCC, San Diego Comic Convention. So this is Darth Vader from the 2010 collection, and it's a nice card. It's on the Empire Strikes Back logo with the original Darth Vader picture with the Kenner logo there, and it has a picture of the original figure there from 1980, and then the other figures on the range. And this is just a proof card, super sample card. So the only difference I've been told is that this is blacked out. So there you are, and then that's the Darth Vader sample card, and you can pick these up quite cheap on eBay. So that's your Darth Vader sample card. Okay, so we've looked at the Darth Vader card, and this is a later one. This is from this year. This is on a Revenge of the Jedi card. It's Princess Leia slave outfit, and this was also given out at the San Diego Comic Convention, and it's got a picture of Carrie Fisher dressed in her very famous slave girl outfit, and she looks like she's stabbing someone with her laser spear, and she's on top of the Jabba sail's barge. So you'll be able to get this figure carded soon, or I think you can already get it. And it has Revenge of the Jedi, so there you are. So everyone knows about Revenge of the Jedi, that back in the 1983 George Lucas was going to put the film out as with that title, but then he changed his mind. And you can get a few from the 1980s. You can get vintage cards, very rare, with the Revenge of the Jedi logo. And then there's this one's got the what do you call this, proof of purchase on it though. So that's the only difference with that and the Darth Vader one. And there's a picture of the original slave girl Princess and Powder Force card, which is easy to find. Okay, so let's see. There's Leia in Revenge of the Jedi on a Revenge of the Jedi card, and so that's going to be a big seller, mainly because of the picture of on the card. I don't know how good the figure sculpt is. So you've got the Leia there, plus the Darth Vader on the Empire Strikes Back card. Okay, here we looked at a Revenge of the Jedi card from 2011. This is the real thing. This is from 1983. This is a Luke Hoth card, Luke Skywalker, and it's a Revenge of the Jedi card. It's AFA graded. So this stems from originally George Lucas. Everyone knows this anyhow, but George Lucas was going to call Return of the Jedi Revenge of the Jedi, but then he had second thoughts. But by then Kenner had already developed the Revenge of the Jedi logo for these cards, and so now these are highly prized by collectors. I've just been looking on eBay and to see what sort of prices they go for. So you can get them, they range from about, cheapest you're going to get them is about £200, and the highest you'll pay is for a really high grade example is £5,000. So these are like, if you're a mega collector, this is the only one I've got, and it'll probably be the only one I'll ever get. So it's Revenge of the Jedi Luke Skywalker Hoth card, Kenner, and it's graded by AFA just 85. Revenge of the Jedi Luke Skywalker Hoth proof card from 1983, Kenner Star Wars. And it has a free offer there for Nien Nunb, which you got on the Return of the Jedi card as well, which were carded with the figures. And so this is the Revenge of the Jedi from 1983, and that's why you're getting the new cards now with Revenge of the Jedi logos, like that Princess Leia in slave outfit on the Revenge of the Jedi, just because that captures all that sort of mystique of Star Wars collecting. This is like one of the holy grails of Star Wars collecting. So if you're like a big time Star Wars collector, you have to get, well, you need a Revenge of the Jedi card, a yak face carded, whatever. You need, those are sort of holy grails. I mean, the vinyl Cape Jawa, that's like a holy grail as well, something that you'll never really get. I haven't got a vinyl Cape Jawa. Okay, so this says free Neon Numb, blah blah blah, figure from Star Wars Revenge of the Jedi. So there you are. There's Neon Numb. I've shown a 48 back Princess Leia on Return of the Jedi card, and that's very similar to this, except instead of saying Revenge it says Return. So that's the back of the card. So this is your Revenge of the Jedi proof card. You can tell proof cards that at the top the cards are rounded, but at the bottom they're squared. So that's how you know it's a vintage proof card. And you've got a nice picture of Luke on Hoth. This card picture was used on all cards, Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back and Tri-Logo. And it just says Luke Skywalker Hoth Battle Gear. It's unpunched, this card, so it's Revenge of the Jedi. I don't know if this will be the first on YouTube. It could be the first Revenge of the Jedi card on YouTube. That is really a vintage Return of the Jedi card. I'm sure someone's got something about the new Revenge of the Jedi cards. So there you are, Luke Skywalker Hoth on a Revenge of the Jedi card. Very expensive. You're talking about, there's quite a lot at the moment. There's about 10 of them on eBay. One in Australia, which is the same Luke Hoth, grade 80, and that's for £275 plus £50 to ship it from Australia, and that costs more than this one. So you know, the only defect with this is that the AFA case is slightly cracked just there. Nothing major. I can live with that. So you need big money to get a Revenge of the Jedi card these days, especially if it's graded. So as I said before, you're talking about minimum £200 maybe, if you're lucky. So Revenge of the Jedi, Luke Hoth. There's about 50 of these cards, 50 character cards, and the rarest one is supposedly the Rebel Commander. That's meant to be really hard to find. There's one of those on eBay for about £700, so that goes to show you how valuable that one is. But then the most expensive ones are the ones like Darth Vader, the Luke Skywalker, Han Solo on the original picture cards from the 12-pack back pictures. Those ones go for big money. So there you are, Revenge of the Jedi. Okay, this is just to go over what I got today from the London Film Comic Con. It's the 17th of July 2010, and this is what I got today. So the first thing is this Hanatoi Return of the Jedi Chewbacca on a 65 back card in pretty good condition, reasonable price. And I've got an American version of that as well. So I didn't buy that today, but I've got one, and I'll do a comparison because they've got the different pictures. So there's that. There's also, they're giving away posters of this Green Lantern. This was free. I've seen the trailer for this. It doesn't look very good, but we'll see. What else is there? This R2D2, it's on a 12 back card. It's in pretty tatty condition, hence the cheap price, and the bubbles definitely lifting. So, but it's nice to have. I've only got one of these on a Italian Harbor card, and it's got a big crease on it, but the bubble's perfect on that, all very good. So I just thought I'd pick it up. I might re-glue it down a bit more. And there you can see how tatty it looks. I'll do better reviews on this. And there's the 12 back. That was £15. That would be about $20 US or thereabouts. Then we come on to the pièce de résistance, and that's this Princess Leia on Return of the Jedi. So this is probably the most rare Return of the Jedi carded figure. The Princess Leia is actually scarcer on this card than on the 12 and 20 back cards. This is 77 back, so this is a rare item. Bubble's not too yellowed, bit of creasing, nothing too major, nice card. Yeah, you can see in the top corner a little crease there. And what does that say there? How much was it? My goodness. And then what else did you get? Last but not least, or least but not last, or whatever. We got a Next Generations Playmates Star Trek figure. It's Gowon, and it's, I guess this is the French-Canadian card, and it's distributed by Bandai, and these are the first early figures. So the card's not in perfect condition. It's not bad though. I mean, for £2 it's a bargain. So Gowon, the Klingon, Next Generation. Princess Leia, Return of the Jedi, original figure. That's you know, 12 back, the original figure. Chewbacca, 12 back version. Well, the original, that was the only Chewbacca they ever did in the vintage line. And then R2D2 on a 12 back card, but the bubbles bin is coming off the card, hence the cheap price. And there's a lot of sticker damage in the top corner there. And then this very highly collectible, this is the English version of the Big Mac. If you look at my finger as well, you can see it's really swollen where the joint's been pushed in. And I've got the ring, I can't take the ring off. Hopefully it won't get any bigger, otherwise I'm going to have to get the ring cut off. You can see that the finger is totally swollen. That's from playing football, you know. Anyway, that's my collection update. Let's see. It's still warm. Yep, good. So, very collectible Big Mac in its original packing. So anyway, that's that. Cheers. Okay, hi, here we got Power of the Force Snow Speeder from a 95 in the Italian box, Gear Stellari, and it's quite a nice vehicle. This box is a bit battered, and I got it at a Comic Mart for about a £5. The only problem with this snow speeder is the actual harpoon gun is missing. Everything else is complete and it's unused. And on the back it tells you in Italian what it can all do, so that's not much use to me because I don't speak Italian. And you've got pictures of the snow speeder with the 2 Luke X-Wing pilots in it, and all the different functions the snow speeder does. So this is just the old vintage snow speeder, just repainted and sort of souped up a bit. So this is about 15 years old now, and I like Italian stuff. It's good that One Nation insisted that it had its own packaging for a while. So you've got Snow Speeder in English, you've got the Kenner logo there, and what else have you got? Well, that's about it. Orange box, orange lightsaber. And what I'm going to do now is open it up and show you what you... Open the Snow Speeder up, and this is what you get. You get the 2 laser cannon ends, which are partially clear. You get the instruction sheet, which is in Italian. Yep. And what else do you get? You get the sticker sheet, which you have to apply to the Snow Speeder toy. So you've got all of these stickers, and in the box you get the Snowspeeder, so I'm going to have a look at that next. This really nice poster showing the Italian figures, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 figures. And you've got there the famous Italian version of C-3PO, which they call D-3PO, and the Italian R2-D2 or C-1P8. And then you've got writing in Italian, the Kenner GG logos there, and 4 other ships you could get. You could get the X-Wing, the TIE Fighter, the Land Speeder, and the Millennium Falcon. And your TIE Fighter has a really nice name, Cassia Stellier TIE, and the same with the X-Wing. So these are the original Power of the Force 2 ships. So here's the Snowspeeder, very similar to the vintage one, which I've also got somewhere loose. The difference is here there's red battle damage and the harpoon is missing. Or on this version it's much bigger than the original vintage version. And then you've got the canopy which opens up, and the cockpit inside where you can fit 2 figures, and you would slot the 2 cannon parts into there. There's a new Snowspeeder version out as well to go with the new AT-AT, and that's meant to be slightly smaller than this, but this is quite a nice ship. I mean, I had the vintage one, that was great fun to play with. There's the battery compartment, exactly the same place as the vintage one, and then you've got the underneath, you've got this retractable skid which you just push this button there and it locks into place, and then when you want it to come out you just pull back the lever and the skid pops out. Actually release that out. This Snowspeeder's got more of a revered look to it than the original vintage one, but they're virtually identical. I mean, the plastic feels a little bit different, but it's hardly any major differences. It just has a more weathered look. The inside is exactly the same as the vintage Snowspeeder, maybe a different colour plastic, and this Snowspeeder is actually a darker grey compared to the vintage Snowspeeder, which was more of a beige colour. So you get an idea of how exactly similar this is to the vintage Snowspeeder. There's been many other versions of the Snowspeeder. The only other Snowspeeder version I've got is the one with the Power of the Jedi one, which is stashed somewhere. That comes with the DAC gunner pilot as well, I think. But for its time, it's a great looking ship, fighter or whatever it is, Snowspeeder, and that's it. So the only problem with this one is that, as I've said before, is the harpoon's missing. So I got this for £5 about 10, 12, 13 years ago. I mean, I only bought it because it came in an Italian box and it was so cheap. So that's your Power of the Force 2 Snowspeeder. Have a look, and that's it. Snowspeeder again, just going to have a overall nice view of the ship, and just admire the designs of this ship. Must be Ralph McQuarrie who designed this, I don't know who else would have designed it. So that's your 95 Snowspeeder, Power of the Force 2. Okay, hi, this is me, and we're looking at Argos, what they've got on sale there at the moment, and it's to do with Star Wars, and they've got them on sale, and they're this action figure here from the Clone Wars. I've got 4 of them today. They're on sale at a pretty good price. So it's a Nadar Veb, and they're on sale for £3.99. which is a bargain. In America you have to get these by the mail-in, so you have to send in 5 or 6 names or proof of purchases to collect these figures. It's a decent figure. I've seen reviews of this figure already, and it's one of the best articulated figures ever. It's got ball jointed shoulders, elbows, flexible ball jointed wrist, swivel hip, swivel head, moves up and down, knees, legs, upper leg, and the ankles are fixed. So that's probably the only drawback. That's the packaging, picture of the character there. He was in the Clone Wars episode. He got killed at the end, so... And this is the back. It says, Jedi Knight Nedar Veb battles the military leader General Grievous. Veb has just achieved the rank of Jedi Knight when he joins his former master Kit Fisto on a mission to recapture escaped prisoner Nute Gunray. On the Vassic moon, Veb and his comrades are lured into General Grievous' stronghold, where the brave yet impetuous Veb faces the cyborg general in a fierce lightsaber duel. And the back of this packaging can be made into a 3D display with Grievous in the background and a Magna Guard, which is a cardboard pull-out. To display the figure in 3D package, you just open up this backing and remove tape from side of the card, tear card along perforated line, carefully remove blister from front of packages, lower back of card, open sides of card and insert tabs into slots, pull up figure, cut out for a 3D display. And there's a nice picture of Veb from the Clone Wars series. And there's the detail at the back. And there's the front again with the figure nicely displayed. The cardboard backing is really thick. That's because of its nature. It's a display card. It's not the first time this has happened. They happened with the expanded universe figures way back in 98 with the sort of Grandad Wolf Thorn figure and other such figures like the Dark Trooper and the Space Trooper and Mara Jade, or Mara Jade, whatever her name is. Comes with a lightsaber, blue lightsaber, and the figure has really good detail. It looks like the character is in a sort of animated style, so Hasbro have done a really good job with this figure. And you can get it in Argos at the moment, which is a British store, for £3.99. Originally it was £7.99, £7.99. So the £7.99 would be about $12 US, $10 I guess. So at the moment it's at a bargain price. Have a look at all 4 of them together and the receipt. So all together, all 4 cost £15.96 for 4 at £3.99 each. And they come with this sticker on top of them. That's their code for the Argos catalogue. And there's this label on this one as well. So 4 Nedar Vebs for £3.99 each, or £15.96 altogether. Cheapest way to get these figures at the moment. There's not many left, so if you want to grab a bargain, go to Argos now and snap one up. Here are the 4 figures, all exactly the same, no different at all, no variations. Nice figure, made because the fans demanded it. Nedar Veb. Available at Argos UK, £3.99. Can't complain about that. You can still get the George Lucas Stormtrooper as well in England. You can get that as part of a HMV offer, and I'll do a little video about that in a minute. So these are the 4 Nedar Vebs I picked up just now. Very nice. These ones don't come in the white box. They must have taken them out of the box, because I've seen another English guy collector who his one did come in the box, but he paid $7.99 for his, so maybe these are being sold at clearance, so you just want to get rid of them. Okay, here you got some Star Wars figures. They belong to my nephew. I just wanted to show you what he's got. He's got the Emperor, Palpatine or Palpatine. This is from a 4-pack. Quite a nice figure. Let's see the face likeness. Not bad. You've got a Shock Trooper. You get 2 Shock Troopers in this set. So these are pretty great figures. Articulation's excellent on these figures. And there's a little thing that goes in the back. You've got Yoda. This is from the same set. Obviously, being only 6 or 7, he lost a lot of bits and bobs. But so it's Yoda. We've got Ahsoka Tano, whatever her name is, the space helmet. This figure's really fragile and frail. I mean, look at the arms. A twist. Nice figure though. Got a little Micro Machines TIE Fighter. Quite nice. You can see how tiny it is. Got lots of weapons. Got Padme from the Clone Wars in disguise. Super gear. She definitely wore this in the Clone Wars movie. Again, skinny limbs. And again in a animated style. Got Obi-Wan in a spacesuit. With bendable knees, fixed ankles. Let's see, are they move? Yep, they do move. Elbows move, hands twist, shoulders, yep. Here's a famous one. Cad Bane. 2 blaster pistols. The hat must be somewhere. Not bad. New one, Obi-Wan in a sort of Clone Trooper armor. With the missile launcher. Figure, which I've gotten recently. Another Shock Trooper. This one's got the antenna in. There's Cad Bane's rifle. So these are the figures my nephew has. His little box. There's a Clone Trooper head there. Don't know what that's from. So that. Oh man. What about me? Well done.
Where's the TV tower again?
Look at that. Camera's soaked.
And a bit muddy.
Ugh.
Follow me, guys.